Welcome back to the Mining Your Business podcast, a show all about process mining, data science, and advanced business analytics. It's the comeback episode, the Revival. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about what the reason was for the hiatus, what we're doing now, or what the reason was why we're coming back, and also what you can look forward to in the future. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. It's so nice to be back in front of a microphone, in front of you guys, quite literally, in case you are listening to this. We are now on video, which is really exciting. And for those of you on video, you will see somebody sitting here. And if you were wondering, no, that's not what Jakub always looked like. This is the introduction.
A new and improved version, could it be?
Yes. The new co-host of the Mining Your Business podcast, Lindsay Ryan. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here and to join the legacy that is Mining Your Business.
Yes.
And really pick it up where it started. Or rather, no, sorry, pick it up where it left off.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that there's a lot going on for us here today, and it's been a long time coming.
Yes, for sure.
And now the only thing left to do is to talk about it.
Yes. It's been so exciting to actually get into this planning phase, right? Because we were thinking about it. So let's get into the kind of the reason why the podcast went on hiatus. So Jakub and I were doing the show. We had 72 episodes.
Over how many years?
2022 or something, I think we started, or 2023, something
like
like
a year and a half.
A good year and a half.
That's a solid cadence. That's a lot of episodes.
One of the things that we always wanted to strive for was consistency, right? So we always released on time. We never had an off. I think we had one off week over Christmas or something. Yeah, but we always made it a mission to consistently upload. And I really like that approach. You know, it would we pre-recorded, like at some point we pre-recorded like 6 episodes. So we had like a release of like weeks and weeks and weeks. So that was really nice. But it just got to a point where we were a little bit creatively, I don't want to say exhausted, but we had an itch to do something else.
Yeah. I mean, exhausted is a reasonable term when you look at the cadence of the schedule. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, but it was also a lot of fun, right? It was tons of fun. But we were just starting to feel like, hey, we wanted to kind of do something different with the format, with the length of it. Go to video. We've always wanted to. Hey, we should probably do video. It's becoming a bigger and bigger thing, or at least it was back in the day. So that was something that we wanted to do for sure. Then also Jakub made a choice to leave Process End, which I'm very happy for him. For those of you who don't know, he is now a full-on financial influencer in the Czech Republic, in the financial markets of Czech Republic. So if you need financial advice and you are in the market for trying to read and educate yourself on the what to invest in and things like that, check out Jakub's other podcast, Rozbit Pracako. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Yeah. He said it so often, and I still never sure if I said it correctly. So check it out. It's great. We also wish him here the best of luck and with everything.
We miss him dearly, but
of course.
You know, I don't blame him. Every time that I talk to him, he is beaming with how happy he is, what he's done, having a bestseller book that he published, and really living the dream. I think being able to live off of something that you're truly passionate about, how can you be mad about that?
Yeah, this is, I've gone to see him multiple times now in Prague, and every time he says the same thing. It's like, hey, do you miss it? He's like, honestly,
no.
Not at all, no. Honestly, no.
Great impression.
Yeah, I'm trying. I've been working on my Jakub impression for a little bit.
The good thing is that he does support us picking up the podcast, which is always nice.
He gave us his blessing.
Yeah, he wished us the best, which is a positive input to have.
Yes.
And hopefully we can bring more value to the process mining community with bringing the podcast back online.
Yes.
With video.
Yes.
And maybe some more creativity with these different formats that you were talking about.
Exactly.
That now we're getting back into it, but I think our plan is to be fresh and interesting and fun.
Yeah.
So it will be for some of the returning listeners, more of similar content that you've had before, but also some new things, some explorative ideas that we want to get into. And I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, me too. It's ever since we stopped, and I've had this itch, this creative itch to get back to doing something creative, even if it's just sitting in front of several cameras talking. There's still like a creative part that comes into it, and I've been wanting to get back into that for a little bit. So then, when we decided, hey, we're going to revive the podcast, the obvious question, the only question that I really needed to answer was, who is going to sit next to me, right? That was the only question really that mattered. Because,
with the implicit assumption that it would be sitting in person.
Yes, that was the other thing. We did the podcast only remote, right? We were rarely together in the same room, and the few podcasts we did together in the same room were always fantastic. We always had a good time, whether that be with clients or just I think we only did it with guests and stuff, and those were always really fun, right? Being in the same room, that gives a different type of energy, right? It seems a lot more lively, feels more like a conversation.
Yeah. A bit more comfortable to interrupt someone in the middle of what they're saying.
Exactly. Otherwise, you always have that latency. It's like, ooh, can I jump in, or are they going to continue?
Sorry, you go.
Yeah, exactly.
You go.
So we didn't have any of that. And that's the type of energy that I wanted to, one, get back, and second, put it on video.
Yeah.
Right? So then it was fairly a simple choice. The only choice really for me was Lindsay, right? So that was then I asked, and you said yes almost immediately. I had a whole speech prepared of the reasons why you should.
You were ready to grovel.
Exactly. I was wearing knee pads. I was gonna get on my knees and pray, please, Lindsay, please. But it wasn't necessary. You said yes, absolutely. And I was like, okay, that's
meanwhile,
fantastic.
I had my whole pitch ready of, this is why you should take me, Lindsay Ryan, to be your new podcast host.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I was ready to come at from the other side. Little did we know we were walking in ready to tussle in this conversation, only to be like, oh yeah,
we want the same thing.
Sure, cool,
Yeah.
high five.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I can share a bit of what my sales pitch was in order to introduce myself, unless I'm jumping ahead.
No. I was just going to say, for a little bit, for those of you that do miss Jakub very dearly, as much as we do, he does have a little message for you at the end of the episode. So stick around for that.
So, Lindsay Ryan, what was my sales pitch for joining the podcast?
Let's pretend like I'm on the fence and I'm not sure if I wanna have you on.
All right, let me give you sales pitch. So, my name is Lindsay Ryan. I have been deeply involved in the process mining community for the past 4+ years here at Process And. I have worn many hats in the process mining world, which I think has really contributed to giving me a well-rounded perspective in terms of what process mining means and how to interact with people who are doing things across the sphere, if you will, of what process mining as an industry contains, whether that's marketing, event planning, consulting, the technical aspects, the management aspects, the communication that's involved. I think I've really seen, I don't want to say I've seen it all, but we're in the sales pitch. I've seen it all.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
In the past, confidence. In the past 4 years, I have really seen a lot. I started as a data scientist here at Process And in 2021. And since then, I have implemented the Core 4 and many others several times. I have worked in projects that are more about scaling process mining initiatives, building a COE, pitching process mining to people who've never worked with it before, to spreading out the tool and the methodology within an existing organization, revitalizing process mining initiatives. Instance cleanups from the technical perspective, all of these things I've seen. Now I have transitioned into a management role, leading a team of data scientists here at Process And I'm also starting to pick up some other interesting tasks that are more in this sales world. I don't know if you can tell.
No, it's not a thing that we notice.
All of this is to say that I've been around. Last year, I also really dove into the community a bit more. I got involved with women in process mining here in Munich, and that was a really cool opportunity to see just how tight-knit and collaborative and engaged the community is, particularly here in Munich. I don't want to say the birthplace of process mining, but
I think somebody would take...
Somebody would agree with that.
And a lot of people would take offense with that.
Fair, that's very true. I would say the corporate center for process mining.
Center, you could say. Yes.
There is a lot happening for process mining in Munich. That's probably the clearest statement to make. And that became very, very clear to me and really valuable by engaging with the community and through women in process mining. From this, I learned a lot. One of the things being that I love talking with people. I love talking about process mining, but I don't quite love the event planning, which is a critical part to having a network, to running a networking organization. And then with all of these things, I heard podcast. And it was this immediate light bulb for me that came on and said, talking,
check.
People,
check.
Process mining,
absolutely check.
It's all the things that I loved, and all the things that I am interested in doing. So then it was pretty clear to me that this would be an amazing opportunity. The pressure is on. I know that there's a big following from how many messages you guys received and the outcry from when you put the podcast down a few years ago.
Well, we didn't. I mean, that sounds like we put down a dog.
When you set down the podcast initiative.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
And it's not something that I take lightly, but it is something that I'm so excited about for all the reasons that I've said. Hopefully I can add something interesting to the conversation and be able to ask interesting questions for the variety of our guests that we're going to have on and be a contributor to the community that is process mining.
I have no doubt that you will achieve exactly that. And again, the goal isn't to replace Jakub. I don't think he has that big of a shoe size, but it's still big shoes to shoes to fill.
It is.
But we're not replacing Jakub. You're the introduction.
It's me.
It's a new character. Exactly.
It's a new character.
Exactly. Also, you'd be missing the beard, and I think that'd be a little bit difficult.
That would be hard.
Yeah,
I'm not willing to shave my hair that close. No, the edges.
Yes.
So we'll see. But so far I would say with all the things that we've been doing and preparing for it, I am confident in my decision to throw my hat in this ring.
Yes.
Including setting up this wonderful location where we are right now.
Yes, exactly. We have been hard at work actually doing the setup of this studio. It used to be the office that we're in doesn't have the best acoustics, and so we needed to come up with something that would at least allow us to record this in good quality, have enough space for lighting, have enough space for guests when on this couch, things like that. And it's been honestly a lot of fun setting this up. I've always been giddy. It's like, ooh, here, today's setup day, we're gonna start putting some things in. Then we did some test shoots and we're like, we need some more plants. Then we got a lot of plants. We
found them all.
We literally got them from the entire corners of the office and put them behind us.
I think there's not all of them. So we could get more. And just slowly more and more fill
each episode, we just keep adding plants.
And more plants.
And then we'll just end up shooting in the forest.
I would love that. That would be very fun. A different novel forms of content.
Exactly. Not something we were planning on doing, shooting in the forest, but now that you're speaking about it. So, speaking of the format, this will be on Spotify as video, YouTube as video, and you will probably find clips or at least shorter segments also on YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn and all these nice things. So if you're not in the mood for digesting an entire hour or hour and a half of content, there will be smaller clips of different topics that we talk about, and also little nuggets that you might find floating around on LinkedIn or on Instagram. We have now an Instagram as well. So if you want...
at Minding Your Business.
At Minding Your Business podcast. I forget already.
The Instagram is just at Minding Your Business.
Perfect.
And the YouTube account is Minding Your Business Podcast.
Correct.
Because apparently there already is a Minding Your Business on YouTube. We need to look into them and send them
a cease and desist notice.
No. I wish them all the best. There's no animosity.
Sure.
It's fine.
Sure. Why not?
It's good.
Okay. Now, getting into the topics that we actually wanted to cover. So why bring it back? So not only from from our side that we wanted to create this or have this creative outlet, the other reason that I think it's a really fantastic time to get back into podcasting and talking about what's going on in process mining is the advent of AI. I think it would be hard to talk about all the things that are happening in the space without mentioning AI. And it seems to be a quite a big push and quite a big, I don't want to go so far as to say technological revolution, but I will say that it's really causing a turbulence, right? There's the boat is rocking a little bit with
a little bit.
Quite a bit. So
feels like we're in 30-foot swells, to be honest.
Yeah, that might be. And so I want to take the audience, take you guys, take with us into the topic of AI, how it's changing the game, what it's doing, how it's transforming businesses from outside and in. That's and it's such an exciting time because there's so much money being thrown around in this.
There is. Even from a broader, completely zoomed out from process mining, I think in the past few days I've been looking into, I've been trying to do my research to prepare. And on one hand, there's crazy economic growth around all of these different AI companies that are suddenly billions in exits and crazy fundraising rounds for companies that don't have an application, don't have a business plan. It's just AI, which is amazing. And then on the other hand, if you Google AI bubble, a number of articles out there saying the AI bubble is 17 times bigger than the dot-com bubble, and 5 times bigger than the subprime mortgage crash that happened in the economy in 2008. And what will this mean? That is, I think, the other side of the coin, that there is a very optimistic point of the AI revolution. And then there's also people that are skeptics.
For sure.
And I want to hear from everyone.
Yeah. And I think about the dot-com bubble, I think Amazon lost, 95% of its stock value in the dot-com bubble. And now they are
and they got it all back.
And they are now one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah.
So regardless if there's a crash or not, there's always going to be if there is a crash, then so be it. But I know there's always going to be a phoenix that rises from the eventual ashes because right now I feel like a lot of people don't even know what this is going to be, right? There's a lot of race to implement it, right?
Yeah.
But this is not even close to what I believe to be the final form of where this could potentially go, right?
I mean, think back to the early days of the internet versus where we are today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it was all just like travel blogs.
And it's so funny because I know some listeners are a little bit older than us. So when we say early days of the internet, we're thinking of like MSN Messenger and stuff like that. And they're thinking, that's like late stuff, we're talking
fair point. So I do think there's so much happening right now. There's so much that will happen, and talking to people who are in the cutting edge, who are pushing the boundaries, determining what the next steps are going to be and where we go from here. I think those conversations are going to be super interesting, and to get to have a platform where we can investigate that personally, that's really cool.
I think so too.
That's really cool.
And I kind of want to get it at it from like a few different angles, and it's not just going to be about AI, right? That's one topic that we want to talk about, but I think it's so interesting that we get to have these conversations where we say, okay, we can have somebody on that can tell us on a technical and like kind of a high level what we actually mean when we say AI and all the systems that go around it, right? Because it's at the end of the day, it's a large language model that you stick some stuff out, some stuff in, and some other stuff comes out. But it's not just that, right? There's a whole bunch of other things that you can attach and the things that you can tell it to do, the tools you can give it and all this stuff. So there's so much that's going on. And for me, I'd like to think that I have somewhat of an idea of what's going on. And even I am getting lost in all the myriad of tools and new things that are coming out, like what seems to be daily right now.
Yeah. There is so much happening, and I have a feeling that every time that we publish an episode, it'll probably be outdated at the rate of things changing. The least that we can do is try.
Yes.
And that we will for AI topics. But I mean, ultimately, we're not going to rebrand the podcast to mining your AI.
No.
AI your business?
No,
maybe?
No.
We're not going to do that. it's still process mining at its core, or rather the modern term of process intelligence.
Depending on who you ask.
We have some perhaps core adherence to the original terminology.
Yes.
Perhaps.
Yeah, look, we're old schoolers, you know.
Yeah, old school. There we go. Back in the good old days.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's some interesting other topics that really have evolved since the previous season of Mining Your Business.
For sure.
The biggest one I see is OCPM.
That is object-centric process mining. And if you don't know what object-centric process mining is, we have a full episode on object-centric process mining with Wil van der Aalst himself. So feel free to check that out.
Great shout out. Yeah, great shout out.
Yeah, thanks.
Great plug.
Yeah.
Link in bio or
wherever it's going to be.
Back in the day, I remember this episode because it felt like a perspective of the future, but was still fairly academic. Yep. Of course, Wil van der Aalst is an academic. But now OCPM in Celonis has become not academic at all. It is full industry. And by not, I mean, there's still the academic roots, of course, but I feel like academia often is very theoretical, very intangible. And now OCPM is the standard for implementing process mining and brings with it a whole set of advantages and changes, challenges, and adjustments about how you manage a process mining initiative, how you scale your process mining initiative. Anything from governance to naming conventions, all of these things from the most technical and granular to the more high level and broad terms like governance, just read in my brain on this topic, is now a different beast than it used to be before. And I think that's a bigger part of the conversation as well. Maybe not as buzzwordy anymore as AI is, but still something that I think we should really jump into and talk about what the shift means in the industry.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think it's always interesting because we have clients of ours that are doing process mining for like 7 years or something like that. So quite a while. And we also have new clients that are just starting out on their process mining journey, as we always used to say. And it's very interesting, the things that where you can see mature implementations and just starting out, right? So one is, like you said, it's like the technological challenge first. Like, how does the technology work? How do we get data in? Like, it's all like fairly technological questions. But then it starts to gather steam, right? There's initial successes and the initial implementations. And then it starts to become, okay, now we need to build like a vehicle to get this thing to continue to move forward and to continue, or to at least start implementing or some changes so we can realize the value that this technology has unlocked. So it stops becoming like a technological challenge, but a transformational challenge, right? And I think that's I think also coming from a data science point of view. I think you and I are both data scientists. Like, I think the transformational change is, I think, such an interesting part, and I think technologically it's fairly easy to do by now, right?
We say as experts.
Okay, for us, it's fairly easy to do. But the transformational stuff, that I think is, regardless of where you are, always going to be hard. And I think that's the interesting part.
And relevant whether it's process intelligence or if it's AI. Artificial or process intelligence is bringing this technological capability into I don't want to say living and breathing organization, but a living and breathing organization where the people are there living their lives. And it's one thing to show a cool tool, and it's another thing to turn it into a sustainable, scalable, successful initiative. For sure. Which I think also in the running of time, directly translated from German, in the running of time, now it seems like almost every project that I come across, any client that's working on process mining, it's never an empty instance that you open up.
Yep.
There is now, more than ever, people are deep into their process mining initiatives. Yep. There are some companies that are still getting started. So the adoption curve must mandate.
Yes.
But so many people have been doing process mining. So many organizations have been on this journey for years now.
Yep.
And then the questions become even more interesting. Not of what use case do you want to implement, but we have all of these assets. How do we leverage them to continue generating value? How do we pick up steam? How do we communicate what we already have, scale it in the best way, and be able to leverage or minimize maybe the technical debt that you have in these places, the knowledge that you've already gathered and modeled. These are really novel questions about how to make the most of what you've already accomplished and keep moving forward to stay competitive, to stay agile, and to stay fit in your process mining practice.
Yep. And it's like you bought a bunch of oranges and you're trying to figure out how to get the most squeeze out of, how to get the most juice with the way you can squeeze them, right? That's a terrible metaphor. Apologies for
candy the rinds.
I don't even know what that means.
You don't know? It's like the peel of the orange that you like boil it in sugar and then it becomes candy.
Ah, okay. One thing the audience should know, Lindsay is an incredible baker. She makes cakes and pies and things that will blow your socks off.
Oh, that's very flattering and true.
Yes. Back to the
sales pitch. My humility is my best quality. But I think that there's a lot more maturity in the entire process mining industry.
Yes.
And that makes the stories all the more interesting.
Yes, because they have such a plethora of experience and things that they've witnessed, things that work, things that don't work, things that work for their organization, or things they've tried that didn't work out at all, right? So it's I don't know, getting to talk to these people with so much experience in the field is I think one of the privileges of having this podcast is like opening doors to and having these conversations that you never really could otherwise.
Yeah. And I think part of that, and one of the things we've talked about, would be trying to bring back some of the previous guests.
Yes, because it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So if you've been on the show and you happen to be watching this, check your inbox. We're coming after you. That sounded like a threat. We'll be reaching out kindly, and we would love to have you back on the show to kind of update us on what you've been doing, where you ended up, and the things you've tried and stuff like that, and touching back on some of the points that we spoke about the first time.
Yeah. I think, where are they now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I think that would be a really wonderful time, and also really insightful. So I'm really excited for the next steps of what we're doing here.
Yes.
The surge of creativity that we've gotten so far, the plans for our outlook, talking about AI.
Yes.
Talking about AI even when we're not talking about AI.
Somehow it will slip into conversation.
It'll come in. We'll talk about our good friend Chat.
Chibbity.
Yeah, I love Chat. And hopefully be able to collect some helpful, productive, interesting, and engaging content for our dear listeners. Until then, I think, do we have any final words?
No, I think that about sums it up. I hope you're as excited about this this new chapter in the Minding Your Business story. And yeah.
If you have any ideas, suggestions, recommendations, hot topics that you want to hear about, stories that you want to tell, stories that you want to share.
If you have questions or you just want to hit us up with,
if you want to have some cake that I've made,
you need to stop by the office then.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's part of the draw.
That's true.
Whenever we record a podcast, there will be cake.
Yes.
Usually that helps.
If you want cake, you're gonna have to record an episode. That's just the way it goes. You know,
but
those are the rules.
I know a guy.
Do you?
It's me.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're glad to have your input, glad to have your feedback. We'll try messing around with some fun and creative topics.
Yep.
And if they work, we're glad to know. And if you say, nah, that's really not for me though,
fine.
Also fine, but like kindly and respectfully. We're just trying our best. just, we're people too. We're just trying to do our best.
Yes. So be sure to check us out on all the on anything that you want. I think we're on all of them. I think I checked the amount of platforms that we're on with our podcast, and I think it's all of them.
All of them.
I think there's like 27. And I've never heard of 20 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And we're on them?
We're on all of them.
We're on all of them.
Yeah.
You've never heard of them, but we're on it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
It sounds like some good marketing if you ask me.
All right. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Minding Your Business podcast. Check you back from the next one.
Hey guys, this is Jakub, your ex-host of Minding Your Business podcast. I'm doing great. I recently became a father and I'm very excited to see that the show is back on. Patrick, Lindsay, all the best to you. I'm sure that you will do a fantastic job and I'm looking forward to new episodes of our beloved show, Minding Your Business podcast. So guys, it's been an honor. I'm very happy that the show is in good hands and I wish you well. So keep minding your business. Ciao.